Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. I am here with a very special guest. It is Eric, the founder of ShineOn. They specialize in viral print on demand and really personalized gifts. If you haven't seen like the ShineOn jewelry, it does really well on various e-commerce platforms. I know a couple people that are doing really well on Etsy specifically with it. So Eric, man, thanks for being here. I'm excited to have you on.
Yeah, I've been seeing your content for a while and appreciate having me with your audience. And yeah, it's just a pleasure, man. It's been a while.
Yeah. I'm excited to learn more about like the backstory of ShineOn. You mentioned you were willing to share kind of how you got started. I always love those stories. That's what I like to lead with when I have guests on, because I always want to know like the struggle, like what the inception of the idea and what it was like to execute. And then from there, maybe tell people, about how they can take their business to the next level with ShineOn.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's see. I grew up in Boston, in Cambridge, actually, when that whole tech thing was blowing up between Uber and like Dropbox and like all the Boston startups. And I was the first employee at a startup called CustomMade.com. HubSpot was our neighbor. Dropbox was our neighbor. This was in 2011 when I joined. And then I worked there for 4 to 5 years. And what we were a high-end Etsy. So it was Etsy, but everything was a commission-based product. So you would actually inquire with an artisan and say, hey, I want to make this custom like R2D2 engagement ring, or like whatever idea you had. We had about 30,000 artisans that could make you something custom. So had a great experience. We raised about $30 million from Google Ventures and like really, really top people. And I got to see a startup go from like 4 people to like 75. And I left in 2014 when Teespring started exploding, because I really liked the print on demand model. And I really liked how Teespring was helping other people like, become rich through print on demand. And they were, T-shirts on Teespring were some of the first Facebook ads like ever. It really created the whole industry. And they were about an hour away in Providence. I was in Boston. And so I had this jewelry knowledge, this jewelry manufacturing expertise. And I started talking to people from Teespring and saying, I want to start my own company. I want to do Teespring for jewelry. And we did just that. So I actually hired Teespring's head of sales and head of marketing in 2015. And then we originally started in Providence, Rhode Island. That was our first office. And we were doing 3D jewelry. So as a merchant, you would actually just send us a sketch or a drawing of what you wanted. We had a full-time rendering team. They would create a 3D render of your concept. And then you would actually sell that render on ShineOn.com. And believe it or not, like hundreds and thousands of people bought these products just from a render, like not even a real product. And so we would take those orders, we would export it into a spreadsheet, and then we would send it to our partners in the Providence area, because that's where all the jewelry is made in the US, like higher end jewelry, USA made. And so that was super fun business. We ran it that way for like 2 years with the whole 3D thing. And then I actually moved back to the New York City area. I moved back to Brooklyn. And then we ended up opening our own warehouse in New Jersey in 2017. And so in New Jersey, that was when we decided, hey, we're going to actually do everything ourselves now. We don't want to outsource production for any of this stuff. So our first item that we did in-house was a personalized dog tag. And then we had, just like we call it graphic dog tag. And then we had a graphic heart necklace that started exploding. And then eventually in 2018, we came up with the message card product. And that kind of just set the whole industry like on fire. And I think people really started coming over from selling T-shirts around that time, because the margins were just so high with the product.
Yeah. So you told me you were the original like message card jewelry. Like you created that from its inception.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of like stumbled upon its success. So we would use Helium-10 and basically find what the top selling products were on Amazon. And then we were using another tool for Etsy. and we were just buying the most popular necklaces on Amazon, and we would test them ourselves to try and sell them through Facebook. And those campaigns just did not work. Like, we didn't know who to target. They didn't have like CBO back then, so you really had to dial in your targeting, and it was too generic of a product. And so we had all these t-shirt merchants who were talking to us about putting like a t-shirt basically designed behind the jewelry, like in a box, and that became the message card product. And it just was screaming like from day one out of the gate. And then COVID hit, and that was another huge boost to the business, because it was Mother's Day 2020, and like all the malls were closed. And so I think we like 3x the business in like 2020 from COVID. And so, yeah, fast forward, we have about 75 employees. We have our own facility in St. Pete, Florida. And we have a second sister facility in Amsterdam, where we do all the same products. And we fulfilled close to 4 million products now, 4 million orders, excuse me. And we had 7,000 active merchants last year. So yeah, it's just, for me, I just want to help other people make money. I realized that if we help enough people, like eventually it'll all come back to us too. And we like doing the hard things too. We like doing our own fulfillment.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's a great story. Thank you for sharing. I know firsthand a good number of people actually that are doing well with ShineOn, like I mentioned earlier. So I know what kind of numbers can be done. I've been like spying on different Etsy shops and doing product research, and then I'll notice like some of these shops that are my friend shops, and I can see how well they're doing from the, like scraping it, you can like scrape Etsy shops, stuff like that. So I know firsthand. And that's great that you bring that personal expertise to, you don't do just, would you say you do just jewelry? I know you kind of do watches. So I don't know. I don't think of watches as jewelry when I'm looking at your catalog and I see a lot of like necklaces and whatnot, but I guess it is jewelry. Like, what kind of products are really doing well right now that maybe somebody who subscribed to my channel is maybe on the outside looking in? They've been selling t-shirts for the last year. Like, what should they know?
Yeah. So we really try to stay in this lane of family gifts. Like all of our top designs, especially on the jewelry message card, are family based, and you can stay in family like forever in that niche, because it's 95% of people have at least one family member. So theoretically, the addressable audience is everybody. So we try to help people like create designs that are mom to dad, or mother to son, or dad to daughter, or like grandmother to grandkids. And you can just sort of play within the family. There's like probably 30 sub niches within the family niche, including like stepsister and stepkids. That's also a huge one. Like 50% of US families have a step person in their family. So we don't need to just do jewelry. Like whatever the household, I think, or like the family would consider like I don't know, whatever pulls the heartstrings in the family is what we'll kind of do. And so just from our own testing, people lately have been really enjoying selling these acrylic products. So that's like a kind of a plaque. I can share it with you on my screen if you want to see it.
That would be awesome. Yeah. Are you ready? I can pull up your.
Yeah. So
okay.
Basically this, I don't know if you can see this.
Yep. We can see it now. Yeah.
So sorry. Yeah, these acrylic plaques are really screaming right now. Usually they're sold at a slightly lower price point than the jewelry. The jewelry is usually like 60, and these are just getting gobbled up for 29, 39. So no, we also do some watches. These are wood watches. These are just typical mechanical watches. And so like, I think the thing is, when you're creating a ShineOn store, like you don't need to run Facebook or TikTok ads direct for all these products. It's just really good to fill out your store with other stuff, because you don't know what that family is going to want or desire. But if you're doing like a strict Facebook ad campaign, definitely do it with the acrylics. And then just the perennial like sort of message card necklaces will always work. And then finally, some of this hyper personalized stuff is really great for Etsy. These are made in the USA. I'm gonna have the team put some made in these USA badges on these catalog items. But yeah, we're actually cutting these out ourselves. We're doing the gold plating ourselves in St. Pete. Most ship within like 2 days. And I think the more we do hyper personalized, like the safer it is for Etsy, because you know Etsy is like always kind of going in and out of doing these like print on demand purges. So
yeah,
yeah,
no, that was awesome. Thank you for showing us some of those. And I was telling you off camera how like one of the TV shows I like to watch, Guilty Pleasure with Marielle. We see the women wearing those name necklaces. We know they're popular, you know.
yeah, and this stuff is like evergreen. Like people are always gonna buy family gifts, and like they're cheap and they're just quick, and they're really. It's not even about the item. It's like it's about getting them to cry. We say when they cry, they buy. So people are buying the message. They're not really even buying the product. So that name necklace is a highly desirable product. But when you combine it with the message card behind it, it's like putting it on steroids. So yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And is there anything else that maybe you're potentially thinking about working on like in the future that you would want to share, since I got you here? Not to press you for, you know, cutting edge info, but anything you'd be willing to disclose. It's always cool to ask.
So we set up in Amsterdam last year for the European market. It's not a product, but a service. Cash on delivery is really awesome. You know, some merchants are getting like $5 CPAs in places like Portugal and Poland and Romania. Obviously, the purchase price is not the same as the US, but it can still be really effective when your CPAs are so low. So cash on delivery is doing great. The hyper personalized stuff, like I think we're just going to continue to go a bit crazy there. Last week we launched a product that has like you can add as many kids as you want onto the necklace, like cut out kids, like kind of like gingerbread kids. You can add their name to it, or the buyer can add their name to it. We want to make a big push into birthstones, because those are huge upsell opportunities. It's like $5-10, when I think we're only going to charge like $3-4 or even $2 on those. So yeah, we really like that. And then I think just going crazy into the acrylic space further, and like home decor. We have a desire to do the metal signs, but the way we do it is just way faster and way cheaper than like how everybody else is doing it. I don't really want to go in like all the nitty gritty with it, but if we launch that, yeah, it'll be way cheaper than what everyone else is doing, which is nice, because that's a really desirable product too.
Yeah, that's awesome. And obviously everybody watching my channel already knows that the personalized aspect, you keep harping on it, but it's because, you know, it sells, and it's a niche thing, but there's so much demand behind that. Like there's a million reasons why someone might want to go buy a personalized gift. So that's awesome.
Our biggest campaigns lately have, like, most of our top sellers are actually using customily too, because of that hyper personalization element. We did launch our own native hyper personalization. So you'll find that on lots of new products in the new publisher. But customily has the Etsy integration, so you can do this on Etsy. So if you want to add, like, you know, all the kids and stuff and all the names, like on the buyer side, it's a great. I haven't personally used it, but I can see the potential there.
I did a video on them, yeah, because it was super cool.
Yeah?
How I did, yeah, because that whole idea, like they almost create like a parallel sandbox for people to go play in and then approve and streamline a lot of the headaches, you know. It's crazy that Etsy hasn't done that yet. They said, I love Etsy, man. They said that I really tried to bring it back to Etsy, because you're talking, I know a lot of your best merchants probably do maybe Etsy, but also Shopify and their own store. Etsy just makes me laugh. They claim they spent 50 mil in 2022 to fight like IP infringement and like scams or something on their platform. And it's like nothing ever changed. I highly doubt they did that. Anyways.
I know, if they just natively did all the crazy personalization features on their pages, like it would be the best. Like, it's so limited what you can do there. I don't get it. But hey, they're not coming from the like direct response world. They're coming from like this monolith like platform thing that grew, that actually spawned in the like the eBay days. So yeah, we need to go knock on their door and sit down with their CEO and tell them what's up.
Yeah, their CEO, man, don't get me started. I don't know. Anyways, I don't have nice things to say about him, but anyways, so yeah, like the Etsy integration, do you mind like just briefly touching on that? Like I know you launched it, I think, was it last year? It was last year, right? Because a lot of my subscribers, I typically preach that I want to establish myself on the major e-commerce platforms like Amazon and Etsy, and then even use like the information I collect from sales, like maybe parlay my best sellers there into a Shopify store, but not the other way around. That's just how I prefer to do it. Like, how are things going with like people that integrate ShineOn with Etsy?
I think the last video you made about it, like it was a bit buggy. So I would say that the majority of those bugs have been fixed. I think it was like 8 months ago, maybe you made that that video. I can't remember, something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, it was like we kind of just launched it maybe a month before. So yeah, I think it should be great now. And I think when did Customly launch that integration? Like 2 months ago with Etsy?
I think it was there I did that video maybe like 9-10 months ago, honestly, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, things have been pretty good. Like there's a lot of people are complaining about like print on demand merchants getting shut down, and like, yeah, randomly some are getting shut down from what we're seeing, but the majority are still up. So I think like Etsy sellers are the biggest squeaky wheel, I would say. And so like I think the whole industry freaks out whenever there's like a print on demand purge, but I don't think it's like a full-fledged purge. I think we've actually seen them doing this kind of annually before Q4. So I would say if you're having issues with there, just understand it's pretty normal. But ways you can differentiate, one is like all the name necklace stuff that we have is made in the USA. It's made by us. The more personalization you have, the more you can protect your account, right? Because it'd just be super hard. It would be super hard to do that in time using like a Chinese manufacturer. It's going to take 3 weeks between the personalization and then the shipping to get it to your customer. But we're doing it in like 2 days, literally like 2 days. So to protect yourself there, yeah, I would say just go deep into personalization as much as you can.
That's awesome. And for what it's worth, as someone who's been on Amazon heavily since 2017, like they do the purge in Q3 every year too. So it's not like something that's unique to Etsy. Yeah, they do the same thing. You just got to hope that you don't get like caught up in something because you were missing an attribute on one listing or something stupid. They got me one year for a duplicate, literally a duplicate title in the catalog on Seller Central. And they like, it's an automated thing, obviously, but it was just an outright ban. And it wasn't instant, but it was like, you're going to be banned in like a month or something. So I had to hire, basically an Amazon agency to like make sure that didn't happen all over a single duplicate title. So if anybody's mad about like whatever Etsy's doing to you, Amazon's worse.
Yeah. Like all these platforms, they freak out when people like us in your audience, like when we find a way to make quick cash, like we're going to expose it, right? Like way back to Teespring days with the my name, it's a Jake thing, and you target buyers that are named Jake. Like, you can't really stop us. And so they're always kind of playing this game of like trying to throttle us back, but then we come out with something new. And like, honestly, the way to beat that is just keep launching new products. And we've been going crazy lately. I think we've been launching 2 new products a month, like the past 6 months here. It's not always a completely new category, but a new product style. And so, yeah, like acrylic's been great. We're going to basically what we do is like, we'll find the top stuff on Etsy and we'll buy it. And then we'll reverse engineer it in our facility, in our factory. And we'll sort of we'll buy all the components we need and get ready after testing it. And then we'll put in the app and launch it. So like any person who's like doing this by hand, if they actually come up with like a really great product, like they should be kind of nervous because we're going to reverse engineer that as quick as we can and open it up to you guys. I like to say we're like liberating these items, because some of them are great items. It's just like the little maker person like they're never going to fully capture the potential of that product, whereas we can. So we're kind of, we're freeing these items from the being suppressed.
No, I see it the same way. I mean, I don't want to touch products. I don't want to know about all the crazy stuff you're doing behind the scenes. Like, I just want to sell and get that like passive income deposited into my bank account. So I do really appreciate that you're out there like doing it for us, I guess one last question I thought of for you is, oh, and by the way, everybody that was listening, don't forget, he just mentioned Made in the USA. I have sold a lot of Made in the USA products. Slap that on your Etsy listing. If it's on Amazon, there are rules about what you can put on your primary thumbnail, but like put it in your title. I know you can, number one, like justify a higher price point when it's made in the USA. And number two, like attract a whole kind of separate audience. So thank you for pointing that out. I wanted to reiterate that.
Yeah. Can you share my screen real quick?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I want to show your audience what is made in the USA and what's not.
Okay.
So,
oh yeah, good point. Sorry, because not everything. My bad.
Like, to be qualified as made in the USA, you have to transform the product by more than, I think it's 70%. So like these qualify for that because, by the way, these are really kick-ass products. I think more people should sell them. These have been some of the best campaigns in history, like multi-million-dollar campaigns. The last one that went viral, people were doing sonograms, right? Like of a baby. So then the dad, the future dad would give this to his wife as like from the womb. That one crushed. But yeah, these are all made in the USA. I'm going to actually add that to our catalog. And then all the name necklace stuff also qualifies as made in the USA. Okay, because we are actually cutting this out ourselves and transforming it. The other stuff, this, we're not transforming it. We're just putting the message card behind it. Excuse me. So that doesn't qualify for made in the USA, unfortunately. Even if the chain was made in the USA, which a lot of our chains are, and the box, yeah, it's just not enough to qualify, and we don't want to get you guys in trouble. So stick to these two.
Yeah, that distinction, if you could put it in your app, would be great. And at any point in the future, just that is like such a nice like value add. I wanted to ask you one last question. As we head into the fourth quarter, right? It's August. We're basically here. We're almost here. I don't know. To me, I'm already excited. And most people probably don't want to think about summer even coming to a close, but I'm like, no, I want my fourth quarter money. What is like one product? And I know you kind of maybe just told us, but like one product maybe we could focus on that maybe is traditionally a bestseller in the past from the ShineOn catalog, or that you project this year is going to be huge. Anything you can leave us with that maybe we can get started right now. I'm going to put the ShineOn sign up link at the top of the description.
Yeah, if you want to share screen again, like
okay.
I'll just tell you what the top products like all time are. This Love Not one is like #1 all time, and then this Interlocking Hearts is #2 all time, I believe. So I would probably stick to those two if I were to do that product, and then I would really focus on doing hyper personalization with either our native integration or through custom. You see these like names here: Lily, Emily, Brian. And by the way, this one, for whatever reason, this one is outselling these two like 5 to 1. So this also lights up there's like a power cord behind it, so it lights up at night. We're gonna actually make an engraved version of this that looks really, really nice when it's lit up at night. So I would honestly just focus on those 3 items, and you should have a winner between those.
That's 3. Amazing. And just to confirm, we can put our own designs on there, right?
Yeah, of course. Sorry, everything's 100% customizable by the merchant.
Okay. Did you still want me to let you screen share, or?
Yeah, upload your own design.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, just to confirm, since for everybody watching, just to double confirm, like we can come up with our own design, add the personalizations if we want, which it sounds like we should strongly consider. We know that that's more appealing, generally speaking. And yeah, like, so we're going to prioritize the acrylic products and the square, honestly, seems to be outperforming the puzzle and the heart, but who knows what's going to happen in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I like the heart too. And so yeah, we're going to start launching some great new features. We're going to be launching SaaS. I think the entry level SaaS upgrade will be like $29 a month, but you're going to get a ton of value for that. So be on the lookout for that, and you're going to get pricing discounts too on all products. So be on the lookout for that. It should launch it'll launch before Q4. Let's just put it that way.
That's amazing, man. That's great timing to maximize profits.
Yeah.
Love that. Little extra margin for ads if you want to use them. Eric, man, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to be here to share some of these extremely valuable insights. I was making notes while you're talking because I was like, oh, I know what the hook for this video is going to be. So that's perfect. Anything else you want to leave us with?
No, I mean, just we're really approachable people. Like, we do everything in house. Just let us know if like what we can do for you. We also have a free course. There's just go on our YouTube channel. We have, I know I'm promoting my channel now, but we also have a lot of great stuff specifically for ShineOn. Yeah.
Awesome. I'll make sure to link that in the description. So guys, in the description, you'll have the link to sign up for ShineOn immediately today, and a link to their YouTube channel where you can subscribe, keep up to date with the whatever's dropping in the future, and also look back and get some tutorials on how to get started. Eric, thank you again for being here, man. I appreciate it.
Great jam with you. Thanks, everyone.